Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to first apologize for not getting love readings out for September. I'm currently in the process of moving, and with all the private clients that I had in September, it just wasn't possible. I assure you they will be out for October. If you're interested or want to hear about the new services that I'm launching on October 10th, right, 10/10, stay tuned to the end of the video. I'm going to have all the updates about the new stuff out there. And if you want to get regular updates from me about what the energy is and what I'm going through, follow my Twitter. Okay, that's the best place to get a hold of me and kind of learn about my personality and get more updates. Thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing. We have reached 10K. I say we because I couldn't make any of this possible without you guys. Love you all. Mwah. So I don't know why, but while I was shuffling, while I'm shuffling your cards, we'll take that one. That old T-Pain song was playing in my head, like, oh, I can't believe it. She's all on me, on me. You guys know what I'm talking about. So there's this feeling, Cancer, and I can't remember if we talked about this last month, honestly. There's this feeling of whether or not you want to believe something. It's an energy of like you're hesitant to believe in this emotional offer that someone is making you, or that this love that's coming into your life. And that's very Cancerian of you to be hesitant about someone that is just so open to help you. When I say offer of love, I mean I mean it in a broad sense. But there's this energy. There's this energy of, okay, it feels real, sounds real, but I don't know if it's real. And we have the Nine of Cups with the Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So, the Nine of the Nine of Cups. I just split the deck and there's the Six of Cups. So, the Nine of Cups is a very, for lack of a better term, selfish happiness. Okay, it's worrying about you and what you want and what's best for you on your terms and all those kind of things. So with the Five of Swords undermining that, there may be people around you that either, right, people that you have a connection with and share a connection with, friends, or lovers or family members, right? But this would be a connection that is not toxic in any way. It's one that's very pleasant, right? So there's people around you that may be trying to offer you things or saying things to you, right? Because we have the Five of Swords here, saying things to you that they're just speaking. I'm feeling as though the people around you are just speaking their emotional truth, but you're perceiving it, Cancer, as an attack on your own personal happiness and your own autonomy, if you will. Yeah, because then we have the Strength card. So there's a feeling here almost like you need to, like you're feeling as though you need to defend yourself and defend the choices that you've made and why you're okay being individual, being independent. Because there's no one else involved in the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is my wishes, my blessings, my way or the highway. Okay? The Five of Swords is for lack of a better term, an argument, right? A verbal disagreement, clashing thoughts, clashing concepts, clashing ways of communicating, but nobody wins. And I don't think all the Cancers are the person in the foreground, but I think a lot of the Cancers are the person in the foreground. And it's not because I think they want to fight with this person or these people that are trying to help them or trying to extend a loving hand. Because this feels like a very motherly energy, even if it's not a mother or a mother figure that's extending this to you. Some of you also may be, fighting with the mother or father of your child, and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to put my needs first, and I'm going to go after what I want, and I'm not going to let anybody deter me from that. Because with the Strength here as well, I'm feeling a couple things. Like, a little bit you need to defend your territory, right? But I want to say to pick and choose your battles, because I do feel that this Five of Swords type energy is happening with everybody that you interact with, Cancer. So in some scenarios, you are going to be in the foreground, that you're going to be, and you're going to be more defensive and take jabs where you feel are necessary to keep, again, your autonomy safe. And then in other scenarios, you're going to feel as though people are dominating you, right? And you don't want to deal with it. So you're going to succeed, or secede to them, right? Is that the right word? But it's not going to, it doesn't solve anything. Like, there's a need to understand that this energy doesn't solve anything. Okay? So pick and choose your battles. And it's almost as if, like, wherever you have been staying silent is where you need to speak up. And wherever you have been, like, more aggressive, I think deserves more kindness. And well, not even kindness, because you're kind all the time, but more outward consideration, more outward empathy, because you're empathetic all the time, Cancer. But if you don't express that, potentially to a Virgo, look, because I pulled the Hermit and the and the King of Pentacles, and behind that is the Chariot. So, it's like, don't pin yourself in a situation where it's like, I don't trust anybody because of this person. It's like, you are far, far wiser than that, Cancer. And you need to use your infinite connection to Source and your inner resiliency and strength to make rational judgments based on what people evoke from you emotionally. And, so you have the barometer to read people, okay? Whether they're saying everything they're feeling or not, you can pick up on the truth. So if your heart is telling you, like, this person's telling me the truth, but, like, my ego, because it's been hurt by, these people, is saying, this is the month that you need to override that, and then vice versa. So it is going to be a month, Cancer, where you're really needing to use your psychic ability to the best and the highest use. Okay? Don't run on autopilot this month. Don't treat people the way you've always treated them. Okay? No matter how you've been treating them, change is here. Change is coming through deep self-reflection. You need to be honest with yourself about who you've been answering how you've been answering people in an autopilot type of way, and assessing who is paying the price for your own triggers, right? And this is something that every single sign goes through at different times in their life. So I don't want you to feel like I'm coming at you or anything like that, or putting all the weight on you. Not at all. Because I think for all of you, you're going to have to play both sides of the coin. I think you're going to have to retract from some people. I think you're going to need to give people more slack in other areas, but I feel as though whatever the situation has been, jeez, so many cards are jumping out for you, Cancer. I think a lot of people are around you. A lot of people are on your mind. A lot of people are trying to get your attention. And it's time to flip the script. Not in a like negative way, but jeez. But it's just like you need to change how you treat people. Not because not because you're doing something that's wrong. It's just like, I'm just getting the feeling that like the people that do shit on you get better treatment than the people that are really trying to be there for you. And that's not right, you know, and that's not beneficial to you, you know? So I think this month you need to take stock in, you know, what is my generic response when this kind of thing happens? How, you know, is it because when I was 5 years old, this happened and blah, blah, blah. Like you need to start really being mindful of who's getting what part of you and why. All right, Cancer. So everything I said already definitely still stands. But this is a very interesting message. Okay, if you notice, the center of the reading is very blue, right? We have some yellow, right, that is on the bottom, black on top. So I want to say that the darkness is lifting, okay? Once it leaves your mind, right? Once you allow it to finally leave your mind, Cancer, it will be gone for good, right? Until you obviously let it back in, which we all go through cycles where that happens. There's a lot of court cards on the table, okay? We have the King of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. Oh, and the King of Cups is your overall energy, but I believe that card is yours. Okay. This is definitely a spiritual path and career reading, and if love overlaps in this reading for you, it's going to be, you know, for people that have been involved with somebody or have children with someone or have children with someone and, you know, not in a cheating way, but I mean, are involved with someone else, because there's just a lot of people on the table. And that theme continues here of like, do I trust myself? Do I trust this person? Knowing that to trust another person means you trust oneself, because until we trust oneself, we cannot actually trust another, okay? A lot of times we believe like, oh, I don't trust you because you did this. And it's like, that's ultimately a reflection of you and you not trusting your own judgment. And if you've done things in the past that makes you question and distrust your own judgment, well, that's something that you have to take up with yourself, not the other person that, you know, reflected that to you. Now, with the King of Cups as your overall energy this month, Cancer, I do think this is a month that is testing your emotional maturity and testing your ability to be emotionally aware while still, which, you know, not that you're ever out of touch with how you feel, but using it, right? Using that emotional knowledge to its highest benefit. And it's interesting because I find this King of Swords here in the door that's not open for you. I find this energy very detrimental. And that's not the case for everybody. Like every time I see the King of Swords, I'm not like, oh, like what a dick. But this month, I think that you're going to see that you have two paths that you can go down. You can continue going down this, like, I'm so scared, like skittish. This is like a skittish energy, right? And feed into fear. Or you can follow your heart. And following your heart will not always have a blueprint. Following your heart will not always have facts that you can rely on and things like that. But you have to decide what is more important to you. You know, there needs to be a conversation that you have with yourself, like, who am I willing to trust? And that's what's interesting is in the position of what you need to leave behind, we have the Eight of Wands with the rune Trust and the Nine of Wands, okay? So Nine of Wands is about basically being afraid to get hurt. Someone that's been hurt multiple times before and just isn't sure if they can risk it again, right? And the Eight of Wands talks about movement, right? And the Nine of Swords, or rather the Nine of Wands energy is very cautious, right? So this is talking about cautious movement, cautious words even, because the Eight of Wands for me is often communication, not verbal, but like it could be verbal on the telephone or whatever, but this is often like text messages or whatever. So I'm feeling as though Spirit is urging you this month, Cancer, to really not be so hesitant on trusting your own path and also what people are telling you. Like, not that there aren't people around you that are bullshitting, or rightfully so. Like, you have a right to feel like nervous and unsure about who to trust. Like, we always have a reason why we are the way we are. But the question becomes, do I want to continue to live in this limited reality, or am I finally ready to swallow the pill and find forgiveness? Not for them, but for me, because I deserve to be free. Are you going to let other people who never had your best interest at heart, and you obviously were not looking out for yourself when you encounter those people, are you going to let yourself continue to suffer because of a transgression that happened, however long ago? This doesn't feel like something recent. And even if it is recent, it's not the first time that you've experienced this. So Spirit is urging you to find trust, right? Not within this very cautious movement, right? This very hesitant, guarded movement, but to set yourself free, because to jump ahead, the Knight of Wands coupled with the Queen of Cups in the rune Love is what is highlighted here in Spirit's advice. Now, the Knight of Wands can be a person, but this doesn't feel like a fire sign. It could be a fire sign person, right? But because the Queen of Cups is coupled there, and you already have the King of Cups as your overall energy, for some of you, I guess it could be, you have two people on your mind, a fire sign and a Queen of Cups. You need to decide which one you really love. But for me, it's like time to break the chains. This feels to me like you've been living in chains, right? Like you've just been living in a very restricted manner, like doing the most to make sure you don't feel pain again. Making sure everything is you're keeping everyone at a regimented distance, right? Only interacting with people just as much as you have to, right? To show them that, like, okay, you don't mean nothing to me, but like I'm not ready to allow someone to get close to me, or whatever. But Spirit's advising you to like rush forward and like forget all of that. And the reason I feel these are connected is because they're all the Wands cards. And with Five of Wands in the outcome, right? There is still this like very competitive energy. But I feel this is you battling your own reality, your emotional world battling your physical world, and you needing to be able to overcome your own tendency, right? Tendency to play it safe. Because the King of Pentacles is very rigid. Not as rigid as the Emperor, but he is rigid and he's very set in his ways. And the rune Luck is here, and there's this feeling here of like, the way to get lucky is to not play it safe. I think, who else did I tell that to? I think I told that to Aries. I think. I can't remember. But are you willing to fight for what you want to? And I don't mean that in like in a like a resistance way, or like literally like fighting or anything like that, because that goes against metaphysical law. But if we never show people how we truly feel, or if we're not reciprocal, like because we've been hurt, because we're kind of standoffish, again, not because maybe that person did something to us or that that led us to disappointment. But I don't know, this feels like putting on a show to me. And again, not in like a negative way. It's just like you're still going to have a lot of people around you at the end of the month, but I don't see you struggling financially, right? Like you are going to be, right, lucky on the side of, on luck's side. We had the Wheel of Fortune before, right? On the side of fortune. If you are trying to decide between people, if there's someone that you're involved with that has both water and earth, definitely earth in their chart, I would say that's the person. Like if you're trying to juggle and trying to decide who to choose, I would say the stability comes from the person with the earth in their chart. But I'm also feeling like this is like you versus you, especially for those cancers that have earth strongly in their chart. I'm feeling Capricorn. So remember what you're fighting. Like this feels like a head versus heart fight for me. Emotions versus practicality. Like, okay, I feel this, and this emotional truth is like, weighing on my heart. However, this is what is manifested, and you fighting against that. And but let me stop jumping around. I'm sorry about that. So be willing to leave behind, right, your propensity to not trust people, right? Be willing to move forward at a quicker pace because you have emotionally matured enough, right? You have come into yourself enough that you should be able to trust your own judgment, okay? It is safe to trust your own judgment. The door that's not open that was once closed, we have the Four of Pentacles, clarified by both the King of Swords and the Seven of Swords. And the rune we have on the King of Swords is Strength. So there's an interesting message here. The Four of Pentacles talks about, right, stability, but also a preserving energy, similar to the King of Pentacles, but not quite as rigid, right? Because the Four of Pentacles is someone that is trying to just hold on to whatever they have because they fear that it's going to be gone tomorrow. Whereas the King of Pentacles is very, very aware of how much he has and how he doesn't need to fight to keep it. Okay? This energy is more like, oh, I'll let the peasants, squander over it. I know my truth. Right? Now, with the King of Swords and the Seven of Swords motivating the Four of Pentacles, and this is the door that's now open to you, I think that you're going to see this month, Cancer, how the moves that you have made purely for security, purely to feel safe, right? The things that you have done that totally 100% were motivated just to feel safe in your shell, right? Secure. You're going to find that you were actually strengthening your ego, right? That you're going to see, right? Because with the Strength rune here on the King of Swords, this feels very much to me like an over-rationalization, like an intellectualization of your emotions. And with the Seven of Swords coupled with that, I think you're going to see how draining that has been to your spirit, because 7 and 4 together is 11. And I think you're going to see, because 11 always signifies relationships to me. And I think you're going to see how in all relationship types, right? How allowing your rational mind to make all considerations and make all decisions and just working from a place of self-preservation has left you at a disadvantage. And the whole reason you were doing it was to be at the advantage. So I think that's why you have this Nine of Swords in your present energy this month in your head, Cancer, because I think you're realizing that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to ignore your feelings and do the most to protect yourself. this feels like heavy rationalization to me. Now, somebody could have lied to you. Somebody could have lied, but that doesn't feel that way to me. It really feels like you letting your ego get the best of you. And you're going to see how letting, it's kind of like, again, the head and the heart have been separated. They've been in conflict. They've been, butting heads with each other. And you were just like, shut up already, heart. I'm done listening to you. Every time I listen to you, I feel pain. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm just going to go get my money. I'm going to mind my business. I'm going to just whatever, grind out. And you realize how debilitating that actually is for your spirit, especially you, Cancer. Like, you are fluid. Like, you need to flow and be in your emotions. Like, that is who you are. So it's time to let the dam back. It's time to let the dam back. Open the levees or whatever. It's time to feel again. All right. Again, in your heart, in your head this month, we have the 9 of Swords. In your heart, we have the Page of Cups. In your foundation, we have the Strength. The rune, no, not wisdom, wealth is on the Page of Cups in your heart space. So I think you're realizing how much love you really have to give and how much love is available for you out in the world, Cancer. I think this is like wow, like, I really don't have to always protect myself. I really don't have to, be my own supply. It's like this wake-up call that you are not alone and that you, again, don't need to be in a state of self-preservation all the time. And this, again, has come because unlike the King of Swords, the King of Cups is emotionally aware and rational. The King of Swords merely is not concerned about how he feels. He's merely concerned about the facts and about what is rational, logical, and can be like computed. He wants to run the numbers, right? He's very detached. And practicing extreme, not detachment in general, practicing extreme detachment is very depleting to our energy over time. Because, again, it's writing off the energy of, I don't trust anybody. And if you're rocking with the whole energy of, I don't trust anybody, that means that you do not trust yourself. So are you willing to let your cup runneth over this month, Cancer, for your own sake? To allow yourself to love and in turn be loved. Because, again, until we offer ourselves these emotions and these experiences, nobody else can return them to us. With Strength in your foundation, which came up in the beginning, right? There's a need to moderate your level of aggression. And I don't think you've been like outwardly aggressive towards people. I think you've been more internally aggressive towards yourself and towards the decisions that you have made or were making. But with the infinity symbol above them here, there's a need to remember that your strength and your power comes through your alignment. It comes through your emotional knowledge and emotional intellect and your divine connection. And worrying about what is to come, right? Because I don't feel this is stuff that has even happened. Like, I think that you have a grip on what is happening right now in your life. I think that all these worries, Cancer, are future based. So you have a wealth of love within you. Not even a well. Like, this talks about wealth, which is abundance and an overflowing amount, right? So love really is in your heart, and that is really truly what you're comprised of. But your mind is so, don't beat yourself up like, oh, I've been making these decisions based on just, what my mind wanted, what my ego wanted. Oh my God. Now I've made a mess. What am I going to do? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. But I do feel for some of you, there is a counterpart here. Because when I see a king and a queen of the same suit in a reading, which honestly is not often. It's really not often. I feel as though somebody has met their counterpart. And when I say counterpart, it does not have to be a romantic partner. Mostly it's a friend, right? It doesn't have to be, it could be same sex or opposite sex. It doesn't have to have any type of romantic tie to it. It can, but I feel as though someone has met their counterpart, right? And everyone needs a counterpart. Everyone needs someone that they feel safe leaning on, because we can't always be our own rock. And I think that scares you a little, Cancer. The realization that, like, wow, I have so much love to give, but woo, what if I give all this love and it blows up in my face? 5 of Wands, you know? But those, yeah. For those of you that have children, you know, the men that are watching, for those of you that have children, you may be really upset over the mother of your child acting in a way that, you know, you don't find desirable. But you have to remember that if you're doing everything you can, right? Like, I think I said this in another reading. I'm sorry if this is like choppy. There's just a lot of feelings. Like, I'm feeling a lot of things for you guys. Your emotional well-being, right, is directly reflective on the life that you live. And whether your child lives with you every day or not, or whether you have a child or not, is irrelevant. Because our emotional abundance, our emotional wealth, right? Health is wealth. Emotional health is wealth. Okay? Page of Cups in the heart space. It's okay. This feels like an infancy state of love, and your child may be an infant. But that's irrelevant. But it's okay that you don't have it all figured out, right? Don't worry about the future. 9 of Swords. Just do what feels appropriate right now. Not what you think is appropriate, what you feel, right? Following the feeling. Being willing to follow the feeling. Spirit's advice for you is the Knight of Wands, clarified by the Queen of Cups, and the rune we have here is love. I think for a good number of you, not all of you, but a good number of you, I really see this as you, like, making a romantic gesture to an extent. And when I say romantic gesture, whatever that means to you. Like, for some of you, I think this is like a little bit movie style, and you're finally going to be like, yes, I do love you, like, real cute. Like, I don't think anyone's actually going to do this, but it's kind of like the throwing the pebbles at the window. Like, I know I've been gone for all this time, but you're the one. And with the Queen of Cups here too, though, this is also your energy. And I just feel more than anything this month, Cancer, Spirit is advising you to act on your emotions. Not at all on your logic. Like, you need to shut your mind up and out. It is not here to serve you this month. Okay? It has been running amok for a little while, and it's time that you act out of love, for love, by love. Love, you know, like, this is sponsored by love. Like, and again, I think I said this for another sign, maybe Capricorn. We do have King of Pentacles in the outcome. When I say love, I mean it in the broadest term, because we have the ability to do everything with love. Like, you can eat with love by eating nourishing foods. You can speak with love to strangers, and that means with just care and consideration in your heart and on your mind, you know? When we speak from a place of stress, it's really hard to meet people that are open and, you know, not stressed and all those kind of things. So this Knight of Wands energy, it's fast, and it's not always, doesn't always have a lot of longevity. But I'm feeling the need to say that you need to seize the moment, seize the love, reignite the flame. And it's coming from a place that you know, right? Again, this feels like a wellspring with this Queen of Cups, a wellspring of love, a very pure, psychic love, someone that you know, like, you're sharing this love with someone that you know understands you at a soul level. And even if you send this message telepathically, right, energetically through meditation, that's okay. But I do think this month in particularly, it will be beneficial to show up physically, okay, if you have the ability to. In the outcome, we have the Five of Wands with the King of Pentacles and the Rune Luck. So I still think you're struggling, though, at the end of the month, Cancer, with finding the practicality in living life like with this much abandon. That's how it feels to me. This Five of Wands is kind of like, oh, how can I ever have my cake and eat it too? Is it real? Like, you know, because I have bills to pay and I need to be this stable person and I need to be able to provide. That's too many. So again, when in doubt, slow your mind. Oh my jeez. You guys see that? Oh my gosh. NT ways. Look at all these cards. Like, legit. Alright. I'm going to read the ones that are on the table because they're on the table. Page of Cups. Nine of Cups. So we have two repeating cards. That other one came out in the beginning. High Priestess. Okay, so there's definitely a water female involved here. For sure. For sure. As well as heeding your intuition. Huge message. Huge, huge water cup energy this month on a persona level, right? So what I'm going to say to you, Cancer, is don't fight the love. Okay? Coming from yourself, coming from others. Because you're going to use your... oh, look, in the Chariot, your card is in the bottom of the deck, right? Advancement, right? Overcoming challenge comes through a purity. Page of Cups is a very pure, unadulterated love, right? And granting your wishes comes from knowing the deep truth that could never be validated by logic, that could never be validated by statistics. Okay? This is a test this month, Cancer, in deep, deep trust. I put that other card back because another sign just got it. Oh my geez. Your cards have been jumping all over the place. So obviously you got a lot going on. All right, beautiful. My heart is the center of my power. I follow my heart. I create easily and effortlessly when I let my thoughts come from the loving space of my own heart. Well, that sums up the reading. What do you think, Cancer? Dare to love, right? Dare to love yourself and extend love to others and be willing to be surprised about how it can all get met and reciprocated. What a beautiful thing. Cancer, I hope you found resonance in this message. Thank you so much for all your patience with my move and everything. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll be back soon with actual love readings. Peace. Hi, everybody. So, thank you for staying tuned to hear about my new services launching 10/10 on my website. The reason they're not launching sooner is because, like I said in the beginning, I'm in the process of moving. When you get the love readings for this month, I'll be in my new office space. I'm so excited. My new house has a true office for me, and I'm just really hyped. So, all the services I have currently are staying, okay? I'm not deleting anything or getting rid of anything. I'm just adding upon that. So, you can now add on additional things to the soul spread. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to list it yet, but it'll be its own button and whatnot. So the new thing that I'm adding is called intuitive counseling. You might have seen it on my site before and it said it wasn't yet available. This is why I needed to move and get everything ready. So when you purchase intuitive counseling with a spread, like at the same time, like for example, the soul spread with intuitive counseling, you get 30 minutes on Skype with me after you already get your video spread. So within 30 days of you getting your soul spread video, you book the intuitive counseling follow-up session with me. And we talk on Skype for 30 minutes about what happened in your video or what's been going on since and things like that. No cards get pulled during intuitive counseling. It is just like what it sounds. It is talking and discussing and things like that. So you'll have the option now to add that onto the soul spread, add that onto the soul spread with astrology, add that onto soul medicine, and I'll also have a button for soul medicine, astrology, and the intuitive counseling because people were asking me about that as well. So those are 4 new services that are going up, but technically only the intuitive counseling is new. So when you add on 30 minutes of Skype with the spread, it's $20 more, right? So whatever the original spread cost plus $20. Now, we also are going to have intuitive counseling that is just in and of itself, okay? The first session, if you were to do intuitive counseling, would have to be an hour because I have to get to know you, get to know your goals, what you're looking to achieve. And intuitive counseling without a spread, like without combining it with a tarot spread, is really someone who's looking for a friend, you know, a confidant, someone that wants to talk about their metaphysical and, you know, intuitive experiences and doesn't really have anyone in their life that can relate. I think a lot of us go through that. So that's what that is. The original session, like I said, has to be 60 minutes. By the way, anyone that gets intuitive counseling without a tarot spread will also have emailed to them a waiver explaining that I'm not a therapist and my services do not override what a doctor tells you and all that jazz. We also will, you know, go over some highlights, like I said, of what are your goals in intuitive counseling? What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to overcome? Things like that. So 60 minutes on Skype. Again, no tarot or anything, just talking is $48. And then you can buy, after you do the original 60 minutes, if you wanted to do more sessions, you can either buy 30 minutes for $28, 45 minutes for $33, or 90 minutes for $60. And the 90 minutes can get broken into 2 45-minute sessions or 3 30-minute sessions. So that's the cheapest, obviously. And this, like I said, is really in place of someone that is looking for, you know, a confidant and someone that wants to discuss different things that are going on in your life. This is a level of support that you might find in, you know, a group or things like that. The other thing I'm super excited about is what I call intuitive support system. So this is similar to intuitive counseling. However, it doesn't happen on Skype. It happens over email. And by me providing it over email, it allows me to offer it at a discounted rate so that more people can afford it. And it's, you know, uses less energy. Skype drains my energy a lot faster than answering emails. So basically with intuitive support system, you have to make a commitment of either 3 months or 6 months, okay? When you make a 3-month commitment, it's $25 a month. When you make a 6-month commitment, it's $20 a month. Okay, and basically what intuitive support system is you, by paying that $25 or $20 a month, you basically have access to me as, you know, as a guide of sorts. And we exchange up to 6 emails a month. That means you write me 6 times, I answer 6 times. So obviously the first time you're having some type of crisis or needing an ear, I would make that email long. You know what I mean? Because we can only go back and forth 6 times in a month. I think 6 is a lot. That can definitely accomplish a lot. Please give me up to 24 hours to answer your emails because I'm not only answering yours, I'm answering other prospective clients and things like that. So I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do the billing for that yet. PayPal does have an auto debit feature. But I don't think I'm going to use that right away. So what I would do is I would send you, you know, I'll have a contact form and you would contact me directly and we would invoice and things like that. In terms of scheduling for the intuitive counseling, whether you bought it with a spread or you're buying it outright, by the time 10/10 comes along, by the time launch date comes along, I should have a scheduler posted on my website. However, I have not done it yet, and I'm decently tech savvy, but like not a genius. So bear with me. we may have to do it via email scheduling for a little while, but I'm hoping that won't be the case. And lastly, the one that I'm so excited about is another spread. It's a new spread option, and it's the past life partnership reading. So when I use the word partnership, I mean it can be any type of partner. I've used this spread with friends, and I like friends in my life, and I've used this spread with, you know, lovers and family members and things like that. So the goal of the past life spread is it shows you how you and that person, whether it be your mom, like I said, or your friend or your lover, how you and the person were related in a past life, what your lesson was. You know, did you figure it out? Did you not figure it out? What was the outcome in the past life, in the most recent past life? And then it shows you what you and that person's energy is in this life, what lesson you're learning in this life, and how you're doing with it so far. Like, what is your status? And what you both can do to continue to push on with this lesson. Okay? That spread is going to be $47. Please keep in mind that just because we share a past life with someone does not mean they're like our forever and a day. So please keep that in mind. This is mostly just to, I think when we understand like the past life ties we have with people, it actually makes it easier for us to navigate the current relationship and let it go if need be as well. A lot of us have that need to know. I mean, I have so much Virgo energy. I love knowing. Like, tell me why. So there will be a purchase link up for that spread as well. I'm really excited to bring you guys all these new updates. If you have any questions about the new stuff that I'm going to have coming, feel free to email me. You know, all that information is in the description box below. You also can fill out the contact form on my website. That will also send straight to my email. Like I said, all of these services will be available on 10/10. The astrology on 10/10 is epic. Jupiter's going into Scorpio, and it's really magnificent. So I love you all. I really hope to see some of you soon with these new services. And again, thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing, leaving comments. You guys know I read all the comments, and they bring me so much joy. Also, I've recently had a few donations. I don't ever talk about having people donate to my channel because, you know, I'm just so grateful to even be here. But on my YouTube page, there is a button to donate via PayPal if you are called to do so. Just know if you donate, in response, I will pull an oracle card for you and send it to the email that's attached to your PayPal as a thank you and as a great appreciation. So again, I love you all so much, and I will connect with you again soon. Peace.